Are you ready for an update for Vision Quest? It's been a bit, but now showrunner Terry Metallus has confirmed the show's place in the timeline, and we even know who's writing the series. So let's take a couple minutes to talk about what the showrunner had to say, the upcoming Vision revival, and why this could be important to those Avengers timelines. Well, probably one of Marvel's biggest hanging threads is what became of the White Vision in the aftermath of WandaVision. We know the upcoming Vision Quest series will finally address these answers, and what actually happened to the Avenger after he was resurrected by S.W.O.R.D. Now, as many of you know, the show closed out with the two Visions facing off in Westview, and Wanda's construct was able to restore the memories to the Vision, where he flew off into the sunset, and we haven't seen him ever since. Now, at this point, it seems like this show could be one of the biggest ones coming to Disney+, at least in the world of the MCU. There is a lot of impact to the status quo, including the return of Ultron, which could be huge to the larger Marvel Universe, and of course the introduction of Tommy Maximoff, who was teased at the end of Agatha All Along and definitely has a place in the larger MCU. Now, the show itself has pretty much been under wraps, and we haven't gotten a lot of updates in a really long time. But recently, the showrunner, Terry Metallus, sat down with Katie Sackhoff on her podcast, and he shared what he could about his approach to WandaVision and Agatha All Along's follow-up, but more importantly, expanded into what Marvel Studios was looking for from this series. Now, in that interview, he actually said, quote, there was a kind of logline that was very specific, kind of like it's this and this and this, but there were thousands of ways to do that exactly. I'm trying to figure out how to vaguely respond to you, but it was an opportunity to be like, okay, if you want to do this, then you kind of also want to do this and this and this. And it became this very collaborative experience that was just really wonderful. And it doesn't have to be with the biggest, most successful studio of all time. It's been a really wonderful, creative experience, and I think we are making something really special. It's also scary, because they were like, go do that crazy thing you want to do, and I'm like, oh wow, it's a big stage to take a big swing on, but I think we're in a really good place. Now, I will say, that was a pretty vague answer, and in case you didn't know, Matalas has worked on a lot of other projects. He actually worked on 12 Monkeys and Star Trek Picard, so even though he's choosing his words pretty carefully here, he seems awfully confident on how Vision Quest is shaping up. And when you talk to creatives, there's often a vibe very early in a project on how things are going to go, and if something's working, or if you're kind of trying to put a round peg into a square hole. Now, elsewhere in that same conversation, Matalas also confirmed where the show fits into the MCU timeline. He said, quote, the timeline is definitively navigated. At the end of WandaVision, the original Vision was rebuilt and weaponized, and then had a moment of discovery and acceptance of who he was. Then he flew off. Vision Quest is following that character and that journey. Now, based on what he said here, it sounds like the show could very well pick up literally seconds after Vision leaves Westview, and will definitely be a tale of this particular character finding his way, truthfully, back to himself. Now, as a side note, we did find out from the Writers Guild that a lot of Matalas' writing team is associated with his previous work on Picard, including Matt Okamura, Cynthia Peel, and Chris Monfett, who will be joined by Michael Taylor, who worked on Deep Space Nine, and most interestingly, Battlestar Galactica, which for me might be one of the greatest series of all time. Now, we do know a lot of other characters are going to be part of the show. We're hearing that potentially Vision's family from the Vision comic series could make an appearance, but more interestingly is the return of James Spader as Ultron, which, although the character felt kind of throwaway in that second Avengers movie, all of you know Ultron never really dies, and Spader really brought him to life in a way that was pretty great. We've also heard that Ultron's wife, Jocasta, could be part of the show, and then of course there's Tommy Maximoff, which honestly guys, I think will serve as the grounding element for this upcoming series. Now, I think the show will also kind of give us some insight into what happened to S.W.O.R.D. following these events, and most importantly, line up where Vision will show up once again in the greater MCU timeline and the upcoming Avengers projects. Quite honestly, Paul Bettany played the character near perfectly, and any place Marvel can bring him back, well, I think that's a great idea. The actor has also made it really clear he would love to continue to play the Vision within the Marvel Universe, and obviously with the potential return of the Scarlet Witch, while having this character kind of work through all the details of this post-WandaVision event will definitely serve the story in fitting Wanda back into the greater MCU. We're obviously going to follow everything Vision and the MCU pretty closely, and I am curious on how this show eventually stacks up, because it's not something everybody was asking for, but I think might answer a lot of questions. So what do you guys think? Are you actually excited for the Vision Quest series? And do you think Ultron's return will be permanent and he'll be a force to be reckoned with in the future of the MCU? Tell me what you think in the comments below. Before we take off, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and ring the bell for all the updates. We do daily Marvel and DC news, and we want to bring you all the news truthfully and transparently so you're really in the know.